On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a sous vide.
I get annoyed when I go to restaurants and I see emblazoned a large sign that says home cooking. Whose home is it anyhow? Home cooking to me is something that's never as well done in a restaurant. And there are versions. In other words, Joël Robuchon's mashed potatoes are sublime. They are not home cooking.
No.
You're not going to get rat, the special little potatoes, and they're not starchy. They don't hold the fat. So they're going to fall apart. They have to be done à la minute, ready for people to eat. Worse is roasts. And of course, it is true that I wrote a book about roasting, and I have a passionate feeling about it. But I must say that unless you happen to be the first person eating at the restaurant that night, I'm presuming that the roast has finished cooking, you're the only one getting the roast at its premium condition.
I would start off knocking down your argument by boosting you up. You are Barbara Kafka. You are one of
Last time I looked.
Yes, and you are one of the great cooks of the world, and you've written some of the classics of home cooking.
Oh, darling,
now,
I may not live through this, yes.
But if you say that I'd rather have home food at home as opposed to a restaurant, that's your home. Look where we are. I mean, this is a temple. This is a shrine of home cooking, and you're cooking it. There are lots of people out there who can't make food at home that's as good as Barbara Kafka's food at home.
But that's not important.
Not that it's good?
Good is good, but welcome and sharing and effort are more important. And I tell my friends, oh, I can't have you to dinner.
No, it's crazy.
And I tell them, nobody is going to appreciate a meal you make more than I do.
I'm not advocating
and
that
I think that people should learn anybody can roast a chicken, dear. Anybody can make simple
Of course, but I'm not
doughs.
advocating that people should stop eating at home and only have roast chicken in restaurants. But if you do go to a restaurant, which most people do occasionally, and you do have a place with great home food, nothing wrong with that. It doesn't. I would never say I want restaurant food in a restaurant. I imagine that in Barbara Kafka's life, you've got endless time, probably not, but to make a good meal. You do it often right in this kitchen. There are lots of people out there in America who are working 9 to 5, 9 to 8, and they want a meatloaf. They want macaroni and cheese, but they don't have the time to shop and prepare it at the end of the day.
Well,
let them go to home-style restaurants.
Let them go. But the point is that you can have all those foods, and you can make them in a reasonable amount of time, particularly if you're willing to use a microwave.
I'm going to propose a family in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, you go right ahead.
All right.
You're going to propose to them, too?
Come be my family. Let's say the mom and the dad both work. Let's say they pick up the kids from the babysitter or whatever. It's now 7 o'clock. It's time for dinner. Nobody's going to go shop for meatloaf and macaroni and cheese. You know where they're going to go? Listen to the name of this restaurant. You'll love it. Joiner's Home Cooked Food Restaurant. He's kind of almost laughingly redundant. Home-cooked food restaurant. But
How old are those children?
Oh, I don't know.
No, it's important. In other words,
let's say they're 10 and 12.
Teaching them very bad habits.
But do that once in a while. You don't have to do it all the time.
I didn't say you can't do it once in a while, nor do I never eat a roast chicken in a restaurant. Well, actually, I must say I really don't ever eat a roast chicken in a restaurant. I'd rather do it myself. Basically, I have to count my dollars like anybody else.
Yes.
And it's a lot cheaper to eat that food at home than it is to eat it in a restaurant. And if I'm going to spend the money on a restaurant, then why shouldn't I have a restaurant experience?
Yeah, but, we might be looking at the difference of $250 for a couple in a fancier restaurant and $65 in a home food restaurant.
65 when I could make the same meal for $15 seems like a lot of money with my roast chicken. I have leftovers. I can make a sandwich.
Le doggy bag.
Yeah, but I don't get to take the bones home and pick them off of people's plates, which I do here.
You know, I must tell you a quick story. When I went to Le Cirque about a year and a half ago, my daughter and I ordered the roast. It was a guinea hen. And we didn't, it was fantastic actually. We didn't finish it, and it went back to the kitchen, and as I was leaving they said, Cereal wants to say goodbye to you. We came into the kitchen, Cereal was eating our leftover bones in the kitchen.
But I'm not eating the leftover bones. I am taking them off the plate. I am stripping the meat off the carcass. I'm throwing them in a pot. I'm putting water in there. And I'm getting stock for nothing.
See, what I think it comes down to in this discussion, not everybody's you. For you, all of this makes perfect sense.
My body would be very overpopulated.
But for many people, it makes sense to. Yes, it costs a little more, but it's how they get a little pleasure during their day and no further work.
I think it's wonderful for people to have pleasure. I think if they want that, they should have it. I am simply saying to you why I don't think home food is as good in a restaurant as it is at home, and why, even if it isn't, it is important for it to happen and to be done.
Yes.
I think home food...
Social, cultural values of eating at home.
Family values.
Family we sound like Republicans.
At the risk of sounding like.
So here's how you open a bottle of wine. First thing you do is you take the top part of the capsule off. These capsules that cover the top of the bottle used to be made out of lead. And of course that's toxic, so now it's made out of either pure tin or aluminum. Once you take that top part off, you take your worm on your corkscrew and you put it in the middle of your cork and just work it down into the bottle. It takes about 5 or 6 or 7 turns. You don't have to muscle it. Then using the hinged part of your corkscrew, you just take the cork out slowly, you work it up. You want to make sure when you get it to the top, you don't pop it. You just kind of slide it out like that and pour it into your glass. It looks like wine, it's not cloudy. It smells like wine. It's wine. Now opening up a bottle of champagne or sparkling wine is a little different. First thing you want to do is you want to make sure your bottle is ice cold. There's about 90 pounds per square inch of pressure inside this bottle right now, or about 3 times the amount of pressure of a car tire. So once you have that bottle ice cold, you take this foil off and you're going to be presented with a cork being held in by a cage. That cage is there to hold the cork in due to the pressure. You take this little circle down, you turn it 6.5 times counterclockwise. That's never going to change. There's only one company in the world that makes these things, okay? At this point, we're going to take a towel and put it over the cork. Now, to properly open it up, we're going to hold the bottle in a safe direction at about a 45-degree angle. You're going to grasp with one hand the cork. I'm going to take my other hand and grab the bottom of the bottle, and I'm going to turn the bottle until I break the seal of the cork. And I'm going to keep turning the bottle until I ease the cork out of the bottle. Now, I don't want to pop the cork, I want it to be a hiss. Or if you're trying to be sexy, a post-coital sigh. The proper glass is a tulip-shaped glass because you won't lose any carbonation in there, and you get to get all those aromas concentrated, and there you go. So I hope you learned something today, and always remember, passion without pretension.
How to poach pears. Sugar, clove, ginger, fresh or dried, nutmeg, cinnamon, pears, red wine. First pour your wine into a tall pot and then add everything but the pears. You want the wine warm enough to dissolve all the sugar. Now peel your pears and place them in the pot. If your pears aren't floating, make sure to add more wine and sugar so that they're totally covered. Then keep the temperature at 180 degrees and let them start cooking. At this point, you want to add a cartouche, or a little liquid tight paper lid. Fold a square of parchment paper into smaller and smaller triangles, then size it over your pot. Cut it out just like a round grade school snowflake. Snip the tip and unfold, and you've got a perfectly sized cover that keeps the pears evenly covered with a poaching liquid. After 45 minutes, use a paring knife to check for doneness. They should be totally tender. At this point, take a little bit of the poaching liquid and reduce it to a syrup. Depending on how much sugar you use, the pears can be used for sweet or savory dishes. They pair well with cheese, foie gras, crisps, puddings, totally up to you.
The culinary scene was kind of exciting. I mean, there were just a lot fewer people out there in the pool, and every one of them was really high quality. I think like a lot of the cooks that I worked with in, when I first started cooking have now become truly great chefs. You hear a story of knives getting thrown at cooks and like pans getting banged on staff. I've had food thrown at me, soggy soft-shell crab. It's hard to get it crispy when it's pan fried. There's not so much of that anymore. I think I think a lot of chefs have mellowed out, and just the whole industry in general. Are you already filming this? Oh, how interesting. Okay.
Let's see, it's around here somewhere. Ah, I think I've got it. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a sous vide. On the sixth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me
6 free-range chickens,
5 pamperdou,
4 lobster rolls,
3 mac and cheese,
2 for foie gras,
and a partridge in a sous vide. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 vodka tonics,
11 Spanish tapas,
10 chocolate truffles,
9 mocha lattes, 8 black tomatoes,
7 Kobe burgers,
6 free-range chickens,
5 pamperdou,
beautiful pamperdou,
pomegranate pamperdou, peppermint pamperdou, palate pleasing pamperdou.
4 lobster rolls,
3 mac and cheese,
2 for foie gras,
and a partridge in a soup.